Alright. Oh, wait. No, I'm going to hear myself. That's good. There we go. We're live. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Hello.
So, we were going to do mapping tonight, but we've already done a few of those streams in the last little while, and Pox was bored. So, instead, we are going to work on some Lewis scripting stuff. So, I'm going to wait for him to just open up the share port. Here we go. Will they
I
be able
already
to?
did.
Will people be able to? No, they won't.
What? I mean,
The, I don't think anyone's going
I
to
already
have
did.
live Visual Studio live share code stuff anyway, so it's a pointless question.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right, so I just gotta get the screen captured here,
Mm-hmm.
and here we go. Maybe. Oh, hey Echo. Oh wait, that's welcome to Visual Studio Code.
Yeah, we don't see anything.
Yeah, I
Your screen is black.
I'm trying to find. There we go. That should be it. Is it
Uh,
it? It's not it.
nope.
Horrible program, Pox. Why did he make me get this?
What? It's a great program. It's better than Atom at least.
That's probably true.
It's still an evil Electron app, but it's a little bit faster.
All right, I might need to do display capture. There.
Yeah, no. Oh, there we go. Great. So, okay, you're already in the portal. Um, okay, so what you see are we working on?
So I think the best way to go from here is to actually get into the mod. So we already did. So basically, what we're doing today is turning off my Steam notifications, because otherwise we will just see those the entire time.
Oh,
And
wait,
what?
maybe you should open the portal
Why?
because, like, if we do any changes, I'll have to push them first so you can pull them, and then you have to test them because I guess people want to see what we are testing.
That is accurate, but then I have to do
Indeed.
work.
Oh shit.
You know what? No, this is fine. You can just.
Okay, so I'll just push it every time we change something.
Well, if it's anything like yesterday, we don't test that much anyways. So
Yeah, you didn't test that much. I started the game like, I don't know, 50 times yesterday.
well, that's your fault. Okay, so basically what we're doing today is we're changing the way that hero spawning is done in the mod, uh, and amongst other things, but that's the main point of it, I guess. So generally, story scripting is done through XML. Uh, I'll see if I can pull up what we're talking about here. Let's say
Story
theme.
Conquest. Wait, what? Are you going to show the
I'm going to show
XML
them
first?
the XML first so they can sort of see
Ah,
how it looks.
okay.
This is how it generally looks by default. Uh, so all the heroes are spawned usually this way. There's also some other places where we use Lua for it if it's tied to other specific stuff. But for the most part, you'll get your hero spawned in using these XML events. And what we are doing today, and what we are doing more generally in the mod, uh, is we are changing that into a new Lua system, which should give us a little bit more control, have it a little bit more organized, and it should also give us easier ways to fix certain things like the problems that caused us to need the dummy planets. If you ever seen the planets without a name that are way off the edge of the map, because the way that those can generally be avoided with XML wasn't working consistently, and so you can see we have a new Lua system for all these story events. And what me and Pox are doing right now is going through and trying to apply that system to existing Galactic Conquest. So we've already done it.
Oh, look, the wrong editor.
What?
You're not using the proper editor. You're supposed to show all this in Visual Studio Code.
Why am I? No, I don't use Visual
Yeah.
Studio Code for XML. It takes so long to boot up.
No, that was Atom.
It's still not great.
VS Code is so
I use
much
VS
better.
Code for Lua. I don't use VS Code for XML.
All right, all right.
All right.
Okay, so maybe you're in the wrong file already. In the right file, I mean.
So little faith.
The
You want to do the follow thing
the what?
where it asks me to follow you?
Oh no, not yet. I want you to pick proper planets for the New Republic spawns, because I just took the ones from the XML for final Imperial push.
I did when we were doing this yesterday. But
Huh?
I did when we were doing this yesterday. And now they're gone. But now they're not.
No, yesterday we did a render.
Oh, we did. Oh. Oh, yeah, that was. Okay. You're right. Okay, there you go.
Okay, that's it?
No.
Okay.
Let's see, data. Which planets do we have? FIP. So, Labringi, Oberdan, Coruscant, Ithor, Taurus, Vandermeer. Okay, so as long as Coruscant is there, I'm happy. So you guys are going to be Coruscanty. Labringi, Lana, I believe is still there, but I'm going to make sure. It is not. So Oberdan. Alright. So I think today we'll do the other Era 5 GC. So we can work on Pelion.
No progressive errors yet.
Not yet. Well, when we do the progressive eras, which if we get to that point today, I think we have to branch that off because I don't want to put that out in 2.2.5. That would be potentially an issue.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so okay, let's do the fixed error stuff first.
Yeah, so if we can have 2 or 3 eras that are just set up this way as a test, have the rest the old way, and then leave the error progressives for 2.2.5 in the old way, we'll have more time to actually test that stuff. But we've already got FIP, we've already got Arinda. So I guess the next one we should do is Pelion, which has an Imperial, New Republic, and Empire of the Hand side. So this is the first time we'd be doing it with 3 whole factions. And that's another thing that is kind of good for this, is that we can use it for every faction as well. And not so when you're doing the XML version of story scripting, you can see right here that you are given Rebel story name, Empire story name, and Underworld story name. You can't add other story files. So when we want to do hero spawns for the Greater Maldrude or Ariadu or something, we have to have, in this container file, we'll have another dummy event where stuff will happen, and then in the separate Lua script for the GC, we have to have another spawn call, and it's just really annoying to do it that way. But anyways, let's go.
Okay, so yeah, just let me open the XML stuff first. It's an XML conquest. Pelion. Okay. Okay, let's create a new folder in our conquest folder, and oh, wow, how do I spell Alien. Rename. Copy. And paste. Okay, great. And a new file. So, wait, 1 second. Maybe you have an idea how to organize this better. So what I was thinking yesterday is, you noticed that I split up the New Republic and Empire events in separate files, right?
Yes.
And so basically, if we go to GC Orinda campaign, for example,
The
and
main
compare it,
script?
yeah, the main script. So and compare it with GC Final Imperial Push campaign, you'll notice it's basically the same file except we're doing different imports. Right? We're in the first in
Let me see.
Orinda we are requiring Conquest Orinda events, and in Final Imperial Push we require Conquest Final Imperial Push events.
Right.
So but it's basically the same
Yeah.
script. So what I wanted to do actually, and I haven't found a solution for this yet, I'd like to maybe write some kind of loader. So, but for that we'd have to find out which GC we are in. Then we could reuse the same generic GC script for every GC and just load in
Well, we
depending.
still need the generic container file, right? So we can just put an event in there that's specific to that GC, and when that event happens, you load the. So right after, like at the same time as Universal Story Start, we can just have an event. You can even just have it know by the name, right? Because unless the require stuff has to be loaded a different way, you can just have that as a story mode event. No.
Yeah, we can. True, that's true. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Bob suggested that yesterday. So we could have like a unique universal story start for every GC and identify it with
If
that.
we do it that way, then we can also, if there are some some GCs that use the same script, that works even better too. Because like Empires at War and Endor Aftermath actually use the same script. It's just one doesn't have the Empire of the Hand stuff in it. So that would make that even easier, because if it just checks within that file for the Empire of the Hand, it's good.
Okay, so unique universal story start event it is, I guess.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, how? So do you want to rework Orinda then
Yeah,
first,
that seems like
maybe?
what we do. So
Okay, let's redo stuff we've already completed.
the Thrawn's Revenge way.
Okay.
What week safe
So
security? Okay, Hex answered that. Good job, Hex. So I guess container. I'll do the XML changes and then I'll push that. So I'll just change Universal Story Start to Orinda Story Start in the container file, and then that should be all we need to do.
yeah. Okay. Um. So I guess we create a library file similar to game object library, I guess, for the require
Yeah,
things.
we can. Or since it's going to be a universal thing, uh, like if the goal is to have one universal GC script as far as like the base story script goes, then we may as well just put it directly in that, right? Because it's not going to be used anywhere else. So putting it as a required
Yeah,
script isn't necessarily going to get us anything. Because we
true.
need that script
Yeah, I
anyways.
mean the thing with the unique story universal story start is that we still have to edit the base GC script instead of just adding new files to the library. So I still consider that a suboptimal solution, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to really find out the map we are on in some way. Maybe, I don't know. What
I mean,
what if we had
there's no real way to, like, there's no distinct essence of the GC you can find other than the names of events and stuff. So
what if we had a unique
an object that starts at the start and then the script
yeah,
removes it.
yeah, maybe that's a good idea. I was thinking about maybe having a unique, like a variant of the galactic background model, like a variant.
That's messy.
Yeah, that's a bit messy. That's true. Um,
Because that's more of a memory sync than anything. Actually, it
yeah,
depends on if it
true.
unloads,
That's
and
not
then
a
we
good
have like
idea. Like,
15 or 20
I don't.
different new planets added, which is not ideal.
Okay, so yeah, but the starting object maybe could be a good idea. Do we want to do that?
What's the problem with the like Universal Story Start renaming again?
Um, yeah. So if you go to the GC Orinda campaign file right now, so we'd have to in the story mode events table, right? Uh,
Yeah, you'd
we
need
would
all
have
that.
to add all the events and basically we'd have to copy the begin GC function all the time and just require different stuff. And then we have to touch and change this file every time we add a new GC instead of just creating a new entry in a library.
Right.
And yeah, so the best solution, in my opinion, would be like a script that we don't have to change anymore that
Yeah.
does the loading, and just another file like have the events in separate files like we have now, and one other file that is basically contains the GC configuration, so a library file.
Okay, so I guess the object is
It's
probably
the
the
way to
cleanest way
go.
to do
Like
that.
if you're happy with that, I mean, we can also just attach a different. Like we can also do the universal story start thing. Like I mean, you'll have to do an. I mean, universal story start is probably more efficient. I mean, we'd have to create a new object for every GC we add.
Yeah, see,
I guess there's no good solution for this.
well, I mean, what are the are those the only two options? I think they are having it story event based or object based because it's Empire at War.
Yeah.
Unless you can find the GC file name, the all the fancy
Yeah,
string stuff we
I
do.
tried. I tried using a game scoring event. Like there's game scoring. There's a game mode starting function that's called whenever the game mode changes, and it gets the map name as a second parameter. But I guess that's only used if you go into a tactical map.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's got to be either of those. And so it's really just, do we get more out of not having to edit the script anymore, or more out of not having to create a new object every time we want to make a new GC? And I don't really. I think ultimately, end
Yeah.
game, there's more of a chance of Well, it'd be pretty much immediate, so no one would ever notice the object, especially if it was one of those fancy container objects. You could do that. I think I'd rather just do the story event, honestly.
Yeah, probably. Okay, let's go with that. So we'll just have one big.
I
Or do
mean,
we want to just, or do we just keep it with the separate story event then? Because it will uh, just become one large GC script.
we could, but and I guess yeah, you can't exit later because it's requiring stuff. It's always running. Hmm.
I
there
mean,
shouldn't be
you
any
can
impact
put
from that,
the, you can
anyways.
like the require stuff. I mean, you can put the require stuff into the begin GC function. Like this is not a problem. So you would only
Yeah.
require the things you actually need. So this is we're not gonna get any performance hits
I think
with the script, but
it's still kind of messy having all those different files.
yeah, yeah, they're all the same files in the end, right?
Yeah. I think we can just try going all do the story event, keep it all in one file with the universal GC thing. Thanks, Codemaster.
Okay, so
That wasn't yeah, Upox is a person in
then
the chat named Code. I don't want to inflate your ego there, but
so we go with the
there. 12-hour stream description is now gone.
okay, so I just pull your changes.
Yep, my very in-depth changes of renaming that one thing.
Woo!
So do you want to just turn Arinda
Um,
into the like turn the Arinda GC into or GC Arinda campaign file into the generic one right now?
yeah, we can probably just rename it for now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we are going to move these. Are you in my file right now?
Not yet. I don't think I can see anything.
You should follow me around.
I can't see you.
What?
Here. Now I can see you. Well, I can click on your name at any time in the bottom right or bottom left. I know directions.
Yeah, okay. So I think I can request that you follow me around. There we go. Did you get a
I
request?
did.
Oh, okay. Great. Okay, so let's see. So what did you rename?
Arinda story start.
Orinda story start. Wait, let me go into the file campaigns. Is it the container one?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Orinda story start. Okay, so let's change Orinda story start to like begin Orinda. Okay, and then we move this down here. And maybe have a function load events and move this here. Okay. Okay, this is it, I guess.
Hey, we win.
For now. So okay, let's do the same for final Imperial push, I say. So story sandbox final Imperial push container.
Yep.
I rename that
FIP story
to
start.
FIP story start. Okay.
And I should say for everyone watching, this isn't how we do all work. Usually we're all working on our own stuff and not having like 3 people just watch one person work. That would be really, really inefficient.
Although I know you really enjoy it.
I'm a visionary, Pox. I don't.
Oh wow, are we going there? Oh man.
Pizza time.
So. Okay, no drama. We're not allowed to. God damn it. Okay, so where do we have the story GC final Imperial push campaign? Let's copy those. Let's go back to Orinda. Let's say we require this and we want to load the events. Okay, so and I think I'm going to okay, so let's do another thing. So let's say function story event processing thread. Okay, let's go here, put this in here. So what I'm trying to achieve here is to minimize the duplicate code.
Right. I mean, as long as
And
it works, why do you need to do that?
so and God damn it, why? Create thread story event processing thread. Is that even how that function works?
Okay, so basically what we're trying to do, so if you see these files at the top, these are the files that, these refer to other Lua scripts. And these are the ones that we are going to need regardless of which Galactic Conquest it is. These are generally, so the PG ones, the ones that start with PG, PG base, PG state machine, PG story mode, PG spawn units. These are all base game scripts that are used in most Lua scripts in Empire at War. So if you look at pretty much any Lua script in Empire at War, you're going to see at least one of these required. Spawn units, spawns units, story mode, handle some story event stuff, etc. And these ones down here, these are Thrawn Revenge specific ones. The change owner utilities is what we use for a lot of emergent faction events. So whenever certain factions take over in the middle of a galactic conquest, this is what's used to give the planet to someone else. It basically checks the owner, moves the units, and spawns the change the affiliation. And these other two right here are for the stuff we're doing right now, more specifically where it's I guess all the shells for all of the story events that we're creating in Lua. So if you look at this again, that's where a lot of this stuff is defined. So for what it means to be an event, what it means to register an event, spawn units with fallback. So this is for example, this event is spawn units with fallback. I'm gonna try to open that. It's in library,
right? Which one?
I'm gonna just show them what the actual events look like.
Oh
So
yeah. Okay.
spawn unit with fallback and that kind of thing. No, that's not it.
Yeah, it's in library story events.
Open with Sublime Text.
Oh wow, the other editor.
So if we go down here, so these are the events that we currently have in, so the event types and what it means for them. So where is it? Add story elapsed. So this lets us just put in another script the story elapsed stuff, which I believe we use in Rinda. If I can open that and you can see what it looks like in practice. So Conquest, Arinda Empire events. So we don't actually do that. There it is. With event type story elapsed. So when it says this here, when it says story elapsed, that is referring back to this, and that calls all this code. So basically what you're trying to do with pretty much any program you make is reduce any redundancies. So rather than have every time we want to do a story elapsed event, rather than having all this code in here, it makes more sense to have that as a function defined over here, and then you just call as lit as you need. That's basically what we're
Exactly.
working on.
Okay, so yeah, okay, let's rename load events and call it like
The difference between single error GC and historical GC? They're generally used to refer to the same thing in game.
okay, so I guess I'm going to push this and let you test it.
All right, so this is what we've been talking about. So what we were talking about is before the way we were doing it, we would have had conquest story. Here we go. We would have had all these different GC files. So a different file for every GC. When you're actually in the code, the only thing that was different is this right here, this one right now. So we were trying to figure out the best way to have it so that we could have it pretty much within one file and then figure out which GC we were in and load the proper files for that GC while keeping everything else the same and standardized. So if we need to edit something, we only have to edit in one place rather than 23. Or I guess 20 right now with the number of GCs we have. And so what we're doing is when the Galactic Conquest starts, there is generally an event called Universal Story Start, which is in pretty much every Galactic Conquest. It's an event that fires when the game starts, so story elapsed 0 seconds. So what we've done now is we've renamed it for each GC that we're going to be doing, or at least the two that we're testing it on. So we've got Arinda and Final Imperial Push, and now we've got Arinda Story Start as an event that happens right away, and FIP Story Start as an event that happens right away. And what this does is it looks for those if Begin Arinda happens, or if Arinda Story Start happens, it calls for Begin Arinda, which is this one. It loads the Arinda files and ignores the rest of them. So that's basically what we're doing with that. This program is Visual Studio Live Share, Visual Studio Code stuff. The other one was Sublime. I'm not sure what you were talking about.
Okay, so I still have to rename GC Orinda campaign, I guess. I'm going to call it GC, like GC Universal, maybe Universal, or maybe I need name suggestions.
Trying to think. So would we might want to make it so that all the single error historical ones have one file, and then because the progressive ones might require other stuff, So it might be safe to keep those separated
But why would they need other
because
stuff?
we
Like
don't
we
know how
still
it's
have
going to
the.
work yet. So I'm not going to assume.
I'm pretty sure how it's going to work.
Okay.
So
Then yeah,
it's
just
all fine.
we already have GC
GC.
story agnostic, so GC
Let's
story
go with
universal.
GC universal. Yeah, okay. GC story universal is good. It's good. Good. It's very good.
Now, if I name the file.
Okay, so what I have to do now, I guess, is rename it in the plot files, in the container plot files. GC story universal in Orenda and from the ground up.
Yep.
And okay, I guess
That's in here. Is that in container? Yes.
I already changed it.
Yeah, I'm just showing them what it looks like. So this is where you tie the XML and Lua into each other. So it's basically the way it works is it assigns this Lua script to the XML file that's directly below it. So GC Arinda campaign, which is what Pox is renaming right now, gets assigned to the Arinda container file, which is in here. All of our stuff is in subfolders, which you generally wouldn't have in Empire War, but
Okay. Okay, let's commit this. Oh wait. Oh, this is. Oh, god damn it! I edit commit message. Okay, so universal GC story your date message. Okay. Good thing I didn't push that yet. It's pushing. It's up. Great. And now I get to about what you tested out.
switch off of AOTR. So this is our version control software. It's if you were in the beta, then this should look familiar, but this is the internal one. Okay, so I have it, and let's just change that. All right, in game we go. Will my display capture still work? Find out this time on top 10 anime crossovers. Apparently, does Corey plus Pox count as top 10 anime crossovers?
What?
Apparently, we're anime characters now.
Oh, okay. So, like, do we have to pretend we're gay now?
Is that what anime is? I don't know what anime
I
you
don't know.
watch.
That sounds like what he was going for.
No, I've seen a lot of Dragon Ball Z, but that's not how that works.
Oh, okay. Like, I mean, Dragon Ball Z is fine.
I don't know what Vegeta and Goku were doing in the hyperbolic time chamber, but I don't think it was that.
Okay. There's usually a lot of screaming involved.
Vegeta. Are we there yet? No. Are we there yet? No. All right.
Oh wow, I can see part of your screen.
Well,
Like
that's
the
not
Star
good.
Wars.
The Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars. Oh wow, I can read the intro
Yeah,
text.
I think
Great.
there's an active game capture near the bottom. The display capture is not capturing it. There we go.
I mean, we only care about the hero icons anyway, so.
Well, the important part, yeah, was the heroes in the text, so
No, okay,
everything worked.
great. Okay, so go
Fip.
final Imperial push now. Or Orinda, whatever you were doing.
I did Arinda as the New Republic. I'll do the other one
Orinda as
as
the Empire.
All right, stuff's here.
Woohoo!
Worked first try.
Oh wow, we are so good at this.
All right. Do we want to do the other Era 5 one, or do you want to try a progressive?
Oh, no risk, no fun, I guess. Progressive it is.
Tyler, you should try running as admin. Is display capture not going to work anymore? Oh my god, that's so dumb.
Huh?
Because I went in game, the display capture for everything else shuts off. Now I can't open up display
Yeah,
capture for
that's...
this one anymore.
What? Okay, that's dumb.
It's always weird with my first monitor, where it doesn't let me do stuff. Oh. Code, Discord, Explorer, no. Okay, I guess I'll just do display capture for another monitor.
Yeah, this... I can see the blue bottom bar of VS Code on your stream. Nothing else. And your taskbar.
There. Everything's fine again.
Ah, okay, great. So, what's the smallest uh
Essence of War,
progressive GC Essence of
but
War? Okay,
they all use
so
the same events, so
okay, so that's great. So Essence of War.
it's just Art
Do
of
we just
War
call
and
it
then it's campaign's essence. So it's all
Essence
in Art of
of
War.
War? Oh,
So we
okay,
won't want to
that's
edit
okay.
those
Then
actual files, like the actual story files for the heroes yet. We'll just switch it over for essence.
what?
Well, because all three use the same story files, we either would need to leave them as is, like leave the actual story files how they are, or we'll need to make a copy of Art of War that's just used for essence right now. Here, I'll show you what I mean. I'll just do it.
Yeah, yeah, we can just do one for Essence, I guess. Or we don't care and just create a branch so we can
Yeah,
just
that's
mess
probably
around
better.
and... Okay, I create a branch.
Because we're not going to be
Right.
pushing the air progressives in this unless we're like 100% confident it works in the space of 2 weeks, which sounds unlikely.
Okay, so universal lure event progressives. Okay, so what do we need? It's all in Art of War, right? And we are going to have a look at the container file, and we are going to call it like progressive story start, maybe.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go back to GC Universal and maybe put this one at the start, like progressive story start and begin progressive. Okay, and then let's create events. Okay, so let's go with the Imperial ones, I guess, first. Makes sense, since they have the whole leader stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so progressive empire events dot lure, and let's create a great header for this. I hear some aggressive typing.
That's just regular typing.
Okay. Function
They move next
register
door.
empire events. Okay. So let's have a look at the actual story file. Is it the container one that we need, or the no story sandbox full progressive, right?
Story sandbox full progressive can well. It'd be the container file, but right now we have the container with no hand, container with hand, and I'm sure that's something that in this one we can not need with Lua.
So what now?
So with the other ones, we just have the container. With this one, there's a
Mm-hmm.
version of the container for the one with the Empire of the Hand and one without,
Oh,
and that's one
okay.
of the things that I want to not have to need, because we can just check within the Lua for the Empire of the Hand and then do their stuff if we need to.
Okay, so we just have the two separate universal story start events.
Yeah, so the container one should be the one that we're using all the time, so that should be fine.
Yeah, okay. So I mean,
It's the exact same
so
structure as
where's
everything else. It's in
yeah,
container.
okay. Um so where is let me see. So where's the stuff about
Stop.
hero death and
Well, the hero spawning is all done in the file for that faction, so hand Rebel or Empire.
okay, so we'll go with Empire first. So the first event is spawn passage, and um he is supposed to spawn when we are in entering tech level 1.
Which is the start. He spawns right
Okay.
away.
Okay, so we just use the true event parameter event type first. Okay, so let's do this. Let's move this one to the side. Let's um I want to have my terminal at the bottom again. I moved it to the side before. Where was the hotkey for this?
For which?
I moved my terminal to the side
Oh.
to have more vertical space. But now that I have two editors right next to each other, although it's okay, I disabled the project window for now. Okay, so our first event is spawn passage. Let's move this here. And we are going to spawn the passage team on Coruscant for the Empire. That looks okay, I guess.
Yep.
Okay, so what about Project Ambition?
So for the unlock or for
Those,
the actual
uh,
execution
yeah,
of it?
there's this unlock. Wow, so there's a branch involved as well. So what's the logic behind this?
So because there's the different ways to actually progress, if one of the
Mm-hmm.
other ones happens, then we still have
Okay,
to
you have
lock
to lock
Project Ambition
this.
again.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what we need is like, I don't know, a general buildable unit and lock unit event, probably, where we can set the reward and event parameters. Okay, we definitely need a new story event type for this.
Are we?
So,
How are we going to be able to even control that through Lua? Because that's all going to have to reference back to story events, right?
yeah, we need a story event template.
But
So
but I mean the Imperial locks they're all going to have to still go through the XML one, right?
yeah, I mean, what I want to do is have a lock and a lock template and a buildable unit template, and we just insert the reward parameters whenever we need them, and then trigger the event.
Yeah, but these aren't connected to that Lua script.
Yeah, but wait, let me. No, so the thing is,
Or does AI notification work for everything?
it's. I think it does. So we can display, for boarding, right? We can display in-game notification, like a screen text notification in the top left,
Yeah.
even from a game object script. So we're definitely able to find a
Right.
plot and access its events.
Okay.
So what I'd suggest is we go into the XML file where we have the events for display structure and stuff like this, because there are already a lot of dummy events in there and event templates. For example, Where's the display structures events thing?
The XML stuff.
Yeah, the story file.
XML. Is it in Conquest? No. Oh, that's in the same thing we use for the other generic stuff. Come on.
Oh wait, it's player agnostic blah, right? Player agnostic plot. Yeah, that's it. So, what we have here is, yeah, we are going to add in template events in here, I guess. Let's go with this. So create a new event name. Let's say this is the buildable unit template. And the event type is story AI notification. And the second event parameter is going to be buildable unit. Okay, and then the reward parameter, reward type is going to be buildable unit. And reward type, and then create a reward parameter, one that's empty, and the second one that's empty as well. Oh, goddammit, I closed it. No. Wait. Oh, goddammit. Where's the player progressives thing? Player agnostic plot. Okay, there we go. Okay. So I think that's right. So okay, so we have our buildable unit template. Now we can go into story events, I think. And, or rather, let's go into trutil first, because the show screen text stuff that we use for displaying all the stuff is also in trutil. So I guess trutil will become our file for connecting the XML events with the Lua code. So as you can see, we have show screen text and remove screen text here. And I guess what we are going to do now is function trutil dot buildable unit, and let's insert a unit type. And So let's add in at the beginning here the buildable unit event name equals, and this is going to be buildable unit template, and then the buildable unit notification name notification name is equal to buildable unit. Okay. So what we are going to do now is local plot is equal to trutil dot get player agnostic plot. This is going to return the plot we just edited, and then we are going to get the buildable unit event, which is plot.getEvent, and then we need the name, which is trutil.buildable unit event name. So the reason why I'm not using the string in the function is if we ever use it somewhere else, and then later decide to change the event name, maybe, then we just have to change it at the top here and not go through every function that uses it and change all the strings. Okay, and what we want to do now is set the reward parameter, the first reward parameter to the thing we want to make buildable. So let's do buildable unit event, and we are going to say set reward parameter, and we'll say 0 because 0 is the first one, and we are going to insert the unit type. And okay, so let's put in a safety mechanism here. If not buildable unit event, then return end. Okay, this is in case we don't find the event. Okay. So, and now we can go into store events and create a reward type for this. So let's call it buildable unit, and let's pass in the unit type string, and then we are going to return type string equals unit type string. And then we are going to have an execute function, and there we are going to require trutil, and then we are going to say trutil dot. This is really weird. Sometimes the cursor skips back behind the last letter I wrote. This is a bit weird.
Lag? Or does it like actually move?
tr buildable unit and unit type string. Okay. so far for our reward type. Did you get all of that?
I did.
Okay. How about everyone else?
I don't think so.
Okay. So okay, what we did was create an interface, so to speak, between the XML and the Lua code. And now we are able to use this buildable unit event we just wrote in the player agnostic plot, this template in our Lua code.
So the only thing I'm not sure about is, will it actually know? Like, I know you can call the events, but no, I guess
Oh,
it has to
right.
be.
Wait,
Never mind.
yeah, you're right. We're not calling the event yet. Let's go back to here. Go TR and we still have to call the actual story event, and it's a story event, and it's TR buildable unit notification name. Okay, so was there anything else you wanted to say?
Well, the other concern was just, like, I know the screen text worked for the boarding, but I guess that's also the player agnostic plot had to be loaded in the first place, so it knows who it's assigned to. So yeah, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, I really hope it works.
Yeah,
So
that's just the only thing that's scaring me about this. Well, I mean, either it loads for who we know it loads the plot. I assume it's loading from where it was already loaded. Like, it has to already be active, right? So it should know.
yeah,
It should know where it's coming from. So it should work.
yeah. So yeah, I hope it's going to work. We'll see, I
The
guess.
alternative is that it's loading for whoever the original thing is assigned to,
Yeah.
and then because we were
So
able to load it through a game object script, then that would imply that it was loading that script for whoever the object was owned by, which either means. So if this doesn't work, then we found a way to use actual unlock events for other stuff, which is impossible. So never mind, this should work.
okay, so I guess we go into the progressive empire events, and so I guess we just create a test event, like we unlock the project ambition stuff, and I just push it, I guess, and you'll test it out.
Yep.
And event unlock. Wow, this text cursor is like really. This behavior is so weird. It's
Is it
always
laggy
skipping
or?
around. No, not laggy. Like it's like I type a few letters and it skips back to the position it was before.
It looks
So
fine, like watching it on my end.
yeah, I just hit the tab key and it jumped back to the beginning of the line
Oh yeah, I see that
again.
now.
Like what the fuck? Why? Yeah, okay, whatever. With event type. So this is supposed to happen after 80 seconds. So I guess I'll just unlock it after 10 seconds for testing,
Yeah,
or maybe even 5. Let's go with 5.
and we'll have to remove the event from the actual story file, or we'll think it worked when it didn't.
Yeah, that's true. uh, so story lapsed and with reward type, and was buildable unit, and we are going to pass in the project ambition dummy. And then we are going to say create. Yay.
Where's the sad face for this one?
Where's the sad face for this one? Good question. Like, okay, we can move this.
We need the sad face everywhere, else it doesn't count.
Okay, there you go. There you have a sad face.
Perfect.
Let's move this.
Commander's asking, what's the hero event rework for? I explained it a little bit at the start, but basically it gives us a few more options for story events than we'd have otherwise. And it lets us use some stuff for the other factions, like the new factions, in a similar way to everything else. Keeps it all a lot cleaner. There's a few logistical purposes for it, but hopefully in game, no one should really notice a difference. Like the players, it'll all seem fairly similar, but for us, it gives us a few extra tools and lets us do a bit more.
All right, so let's go back with it. Progressive Empire one? No, progressive events. Conquest. Progressives. There we go. And ha! Great header. And let's do this. Function register events. So this is like, we have to have this one everywhere, right? Because this is what we defined, what we want to use in the GC Story Universal script. And we are going to use the Empire events. Oh wait, it's called Progressive Empire events, not Progressive Events Empire. There it is again. Cursor, skip back. Huh. Progressive
Here.
Empire events. I may have to switch my editor.
Again?
Okay, so let's. Okay, so I already did this, I guess. But we are going to do require global events. We need this anyway. Might as well move this to the top, I guess. But let's have it here anyway for now. Conquest progressives, and what is it? What was it called? Progressive events. So let's go back to GC Universal and okay, so then we are going to disable project ambition and passage in this one. And what's the thing about unlock ambition?
That's the thing that disables the branch. And I think, does
So
that lock it back
should
up?
I disable
No,
that?
right now that shouldn't impact whatever we're doing.
Okay.
Because that fires on
I
lock project ambition, which is what happens when it. Yeah, that only happens if the timer runs out or if Coruscant's taken, that kind of stuff.
Okay. So I guess what we are going to do now is we have to go into Art of War, full story plot sandbox, full progressive container XML, and replace GC full progressive campaign with GC universal, GC story universal, right?
Yes.
Great.
All right, and this is going to be in a different branch, right?
Yeah, this is gonna be like I'm going to push the branch. Stage changes. Unstage those two. I think that should be it, hopefully. So progressive error testing with Lua story events. And let's push it. Okay, and now I get to you trying this out and finding out how this is not working.
Yep, and that'll be what we end the stream on. All right, I should be in the branch now. Gonna turn on Empire at War, capture. Oh, the chat box has been under the display forever. All right, let's do this.
Okay. Yeah, I can see the GitHub client.
There we go. All right. I'll do Essence of War, Empire. It was 5 seconds in that it unlocks?
Yeah, it should be 5 seconds. Out of form, maybe? Or does it
It's all the same
even
story
matter?
file.
Okay.
Let's see, no, okay, not there. Pestage is here.
Okay, that's great.
It unlocked. Works.
It did?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so
Oh,
this should
is
all work.
so great. Nice.
I wish we could use this to unlock stuff for other factions, but oh well.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to work.
Unless we do a lot of weird other background stuff with pre-required or required structures and stuff. But anyways,
Oh yeah,
that
no,
would be
no,
a huge
thank you.
mess. But anyways, I think we are going to leave it there for today's stream because I do have somewhere I need to be, which is still at my computer. But thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you learned something, or at least were mildly entertained and had some background noise for an hour and a half. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for joining me, Pox.
You're welcome.
And thanks for coming out, everyone. See you next time.